this idle time to think about like what's the point of all this.
This is another Unabomber thing, right?
Yeah.
I can't believe
everything goes back to him.
how much of our conversation goes back to the Unabomber.
Well, dude, it's
ridiculous.
He was pretty spot on. Yeah. I mean, he dude,
everything comes back to it.
Well,
every
dude,
discussion we're having.
I mean, society's fucked up, dude. Like like society, like the world that we live in is not built for us. It's just not. Like
right.
like
so either the world changes or we change.
Right.
That's maybe the tipping point that we're at.
Yeah. Well, I think
we become something else.
Ooh, this is a thread I want to go down, but I want to close out this thing, and then I have another thing I want to go to that I wrote a little bit about. But I think we have this idea that the world is kind of whatever we make. It seems like an intuitive thing. It's like, who builds the world? Well, the world we live in, like cities, culture, etc. Who builds that?
We do.
It's humans.
Yeah.
Right? So you would think, it's human hands are making it. Human minds are the ones thinking the stuff up, imagining it. Humans are making it, right? And so wouldn't humans make things that are, comfortable for them and for humans to live in?
Yeah.
You'd think that would be what
right.
happens.
Seems logical.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's not what happens.
Yeah.
And it's because...
the fuck are we doing?
Yeah. It's because there's a larger system that exists that is almost like a different organism that wants something different. It's not so much individual humans that build the world. It's the system of aggregated humans that builds the world.
Okay.
And that as an organism, let's say, is interested in very different things than individuals are. And so, for instance, like a crude example of this is just basic evolution. What evolution selects for is for the continuation. Well, from a certain level, you could look at a species like an organism.
Yeah.
A species selects for, because made up of individuals. It selects for individuals that will continue the species.
Yes.
So you can look at this on the individual level, on the genetic level, but you can also look at it at a species level. A species sort of operates in that same way. And, we also have a thing that's kind of like its own organism, which is capitalism.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Yeah. It's capitalism has certain things that it wants, as a system. It has certain things that it incentivizes.
Which is like, and I want to say about
capitalism. It's not always
capitalism.
aligned with what the individual human needs are.
No, but I want to say that capitalism was not some like, it came out of it was like a natural consequence of human activity when humans are functioning at scale in a large community. It was like, it's not like some thing that an evil guy invented. Right. It's not like that. I'm trying to come up with saying it's not like this kind of like thing that is an unnatural thing to exist.
Yeah.
This is like a consequence of just natural human behavior.
Well, yeah, I mean it's both things are kind of emerge out of each other in a way because they're a feedback mechanism, like people create a system where they can, individual people have a desire to ascend hierarchies, let's say, particularly men, but women too. In social senses, all of us want status or to be at the top of some hierarchy for psychological safety, resource access purposes, whatever. And so, we build some system of morality that's about who owns what's fair, and then from this idea of ownership, you can start to develop, I have this, you have that, I want to get that from you. We can make a fair transaction. And then from there, you can imagine how you could expand that into, all right, well, if you do some work for me, then I'll give you this. And all of a sudden you have,
meritocracy.
You have capitalism,
Yeah.
basically. I mean, maybe not formally, but eventually it can morph into that. And then, so that's how humans kind of build capitalism kind of emergently. And then humans eventually become a product of that as generations go on, because the humans that are, good at surviving within that reproduce, and the ones that aren't don't.
We build the world and the world builds us.
Yeah.
Damn.
So they both kind of emerge out of each other.
But also kind of not, because I think, I don't know, there's this weird thing, man, with like destiny and all that, where you almost kind of feel like it doesn't matter. Again, I'm watching Foundation right now on
I feel like you've been watching
TV.
Foundation for a long time. Is it like
I'm
a long
slow.
series?
You're
just slow.
Yeah. And it kind of breaks down the whole, it says like, you can basically use math to predict, and I'm not saying this is true, it's just like the concept of the show is that they use math to basically predict the future. And it's like a large, it's like a huge data set that predicts probable futures. And it can't predict the future of an individual or account for the actions of an outlier, but it just like at scale, that's how it's functioning.
Yeah, it's a big model of the world in general terms.
Damn, I forget how I was going to relate it to what we were just saying.
I was talking about how the world, like we build the world and the world builds us kind of thing.
Oh, it's just kind of like this thing like that. It makes it seem like whatever trajectory we're on is sort of inevitable.
Oh, destiny you were talking about.
Yeah, like you can only, we're on some sort of inevitable track of the way that things are just meant to kind of unfold based on how people are going to act in large groups, what they're likely to create, and what's likely to happen after they create that thing.
Right. Yeah, there's definitely a reality of our boundedness and our individual ability to affect the larger trajectory. Like if you think about, again, the species or civilization as an organism, we are like a cell to our own body.
Right.
In that
so,
kind of relationship. It's like how much does like one skin cell on my hand have control over the rest of my body?
Yeah.
I mean, like maybe it can, start be a cancer cell and cause a problem. But
right.
is it going to make me, I don't know, play tennis
instead
of golf? Like
right.
my thumb does hurt. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess my nerves are doing something. Nerves are powerful. I guess that's what we learned.
Yeah. So I was thinking that you said something about how the problem with where we're at, kind of like this perverted situation of capitalism. What we've done is we've created a society that is so interconnected that it has given individuals the opportunity to profit from large masses of people and accumulate masses of wealth that are far beyond what they ever could in a society where you only have connection to a far smaller number of people. And so I forget the way that you said it, but I was backtracking to where the problem is, because I think that it seems like whether we're talking about technology or government or culture or communication or social well-being, all these kind of things that we're talking about that are problems with how we are and how we operate today seem to me to relate to this sort of one world globalization concept, which means that the opposite of that would be going back to like a less connected society, a bunch of like cultures that exist adjacently without much knowledge of each other, with their own kind of governing systems and difficulty accessing. And so when I was thinking about that, I'm like, where did we fuck up? Basically, was it with like and why did we fuck up? Because I believe that it wasn't necessarily, I guess, a fuck up, because it was where we're at right now is inevitable. And so what I was thinking, like the thing I came to is, and maybe you have a different example, but roads. When we decided, maybe it was like the manifest destiny sort of thing, or when we decided to interconnect our cities with, was it the wheel? Was it the wagon? Was it roads? What was the spark of interconnectedness? God, was it the Silk Road? Like, what was the kind of thing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, Avery and I were talking about this last week. We talked about it a couple of times, but I think some things like roads maybe are just natural consequences of things that come before them. So it's almost like if you throw a rock off a cliff, it's going to hit the ground. So it's like if you have the agricultural revolution, or let's say the Neolithic revolution, eventually you're going to have roads.
Right.
You know,
was that the one that made people allowed to live in small towns or something? Went from like attached to the land to attached to groups of people in a town.
I might be getting this wrong. I don't remember the terms exactly. I think the Neolithic revolution, if I'm remembering right, was.
Where's Jamie?
Yeah, where's Jamie? Are you looking it up?
Yeah, I'll be Jamie.
Yeah, I think it's either the agricultural revolution or the Neolithic revolution. But it was basically the introduction of farming. I think it was the Neolithic revolution.
Neolithic was, yes, when nomadic hunter-gatherers settled down and started farming and domesticating animals. That was it.
Yes,
it was animal domestication.
And what is agricultural? Just look that up just so I know if there's any difference. But I think that is the thing that drastically changed the way that humans lived, as I understand it.
Yeah.
It was, we were nomadic. We would, there was something about an inherent balancing equilibrium between us and our environment. And then as soon as you start, kind of gamifying, like survival in a way, it's like, you start, it kind of goes back to, it's almost like it's a convenience thing. It's like it sure is hard to have to like move around all the time and like go fetch these animals that are running away from us. It's like, why don't we catch them, breed them, put them in a pen, and then we don't have to chase them around so much.
I wonder who thought of that.
It's pretty smart. But I think maybe something like roads are a natural consequence of that. Almost like a ballistic kind of
so it's all
consequence.
Their fault.
It's all their fault, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So the agricultural revolution is the same thing as the Neolithic revolution.
Okay, it's the same. All right.
Yeah, it's synonymous. But I think in a larger sense, agricultural revolution applies to any major shift in food production.
Oh, so it's just a general term. It's not like
more of a general
historical.
Term,
yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, maybe like that's part of the origin of roads and interconnecting stuff.
I guess I didn't think though. There's also the technological roads, right? Like telephone.
Yep.
And then iPhone.
Yeah.
And then Instagram. I wonder what was a bigger shift: the domestication of animals, or the invention of like the television or the telephone.
Well, we have yet to see. I mean, so far the Neolithic revolution has, like what's came from that has been enormous. But, if we continue to live on for the next, 200,000 years, I mean, maybe the iPhone will look bigger on, with respect to.
I'd love to see that. I'm trying to like kind of envision.
I don't even know where we're going to be though. It's so hard to, I mean, like it's almost like imagining like someone who was back then trying to imagine now. It's like, they'd be like, oh, like the animals would be like bigger maybe.
Yeah.
It's like, like maybe we'd have like cooler armor.
Dude, that's so I go back and forth. A lot of what I do sometimes is I look around at where we are now, driving cars, holding television screen bricks in our pockets, and looking at power lines and roads and all this stuff, and imagining that these are like ancient times. I look around and think these are like the dark ages. This is like I'm living in history right now. Right. And when I'm older, I'm going to reminisce on these days and be like, "Oh, that was back when like everything was so I don't know, outdated or older or anxious."
It's like, how do people live like that?
Yeah. I try to see the world that way, but now what I thought yesterday, I went to run an errand and I was driving around, and I don't drive the car as much these days now that I'm living downtown here, but I was like cresting this hill, and I was at the top of the hill starting to drive down, and there was a red light pretty far in front of me, and there was maybe 30 cars with brake lights on between me, like going all the way down the hill to this red light at the bottom of the hill. And then in the distance, running perpendicularly to me was a highway. And I just see these cars just buzzing by, like 70 miles an hour on the highway, like a whole bunch of them. And I had this whole kind of view of this, as Tim Dillon would call it, like suburbia hellscape or something. I'm just looking at all of these, Home Depot and Popeyes and all this kind of like garbage stuff and all these cars driving around. And I was like, oh, I'm in the future. Like it wasn't looking at today as an ancient times thing. It was looking at today as like being the future and thinking about when you had horse-drawn carriages or when people just, I don't know, whatever it was. I think, dude, my grandpa's like 95 years old. And I think when my grandpa was a kid, there was like hardly even cars.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, holy shit, like, to be 95 today looking at this, like, this is the freaking future, dude. This is crazy. Like, that I'm just like sitting in this temperature controlled box on wheels that goes 80 miles an hour. And I'm just like, I just saw my parents here for a couple minutes. Now I'm going to go all the way across town back to my job, and I'm here and I'm there. And I'm just like, how small the world has become because of how easy it is for me to just get from here to there so quickly. I was trying to kind of step out of myself and see where I'm at from a different perspective. So that was the first time I've done that in a while. I don't know why I guess it's just seeing those cars in the distance buzzing by on the highway kind of reminded me of like some vision of like seeing the Jetsons,
right,
like cartoons or something when I was a kid, and seeing like that whole idea of the future. And I'm like, oh wait, like this is kind of the future, dude. Like these car things are kind of wild.
Yeah.
So, but now you have me thinking about this is like ancient times. Is this ancient times? Is this the future?
Yeah. There was something I wrote down here. I'm going to pull it up. It's basically, so this is kind of inspired by Brett Weinstein. I don't know if you got to watch the rest of that podcast.
Not the new one, dude. He was just on like 2 weeks ago. Why is he back already?
Well, so yeah,
is it because he bombed?
No, it's because he's great, dude. He's a winner. So he was on. This is the Brett Weinstein was on the most recent episode of Joe Rogan, and at the beginning he was talking about why he was on so quickly after. Again, he wanted to talk about this idea of. It was an evolutionary kind of idea. He was trying to address what he sees as a problem in the story of evolution, and I'll lay it out a little bit because I think it is actually kind of gets to what I'm talking about. So classically, we think about evolution as this process of, the classic story is like, every generation, there's the combination of the two parents' genes, and throughout that process, there might be some random mutations that come in the offspring.
Yeah.
Right. And then through the process of those offspring competing for resources and mates, they create a new generation that has some more subtle mutations, and they again compete, and so on and so forth. And through this process, you get this, gradual matching of the organisms with the environment through this process of competition for resources, et cetera. Right?
Yeah.
So it's this gradual kind of approach through random mutations. And he was talking about how he doesn't think that's the full story. It just doesn't make sense for some reasons, and which I can't explain because I'm not a biologist and haven't researched it as deeply as he has. But basically, he thinks that can't be the full story. So what he proposed is that there is another layer to it, and one of the things that I'm remembering that I think was at the core of it is that not only is evolution selecting for fitness in the environment, it's also selecting for fitness in, let's say, the space of potential manifestations of the organism design, let's say. So here's.
Oh yeah.
So this is kind of the. I think I can actually go from memory. I don't think I need to read it. So imagine there's this landscape, right? And you're in this landscape, and scattered throughout the landscape is different versions of you. Let's say you as like an organism, you as like a,
The clock approach.
I don't know if it's
Clock
that.
approach, Michael.
I don't think it's that. But
Okay.
so imagine there's this vast landscape, and you're there, and all around are these different versions of you that are like these, let's say, slightly mutated versions of you. Like you
How
had
many?
It's infinite. It's infinite space.
Okay.
But and this is you in like an organism sense, not you in like a self egos kind of sense.
Like me, like being 6'3" instead of 6'2".
Right. But what I'm saying is this is not like a you as in your consciousness, but
Okay.
this is you as like as an organism, as
Yeah.
you could say it's as a species, as an individual in a species. So every time that there's, you produce a new offspring, you can kind of reach out and, within arm's length, whichever new version of you, whichever other versions of you are around, you can, your offspring will be the next version. That's within arm's reach, let's say. And every generation that happens again. So from where that organism is, it has some more in arm's reach. It can move, right? So there's this little stepwise movements that it can make, right?
Right.
And now imagine if instead of just randomly, picking which new version of you you're going to be,
Which direction to reach out?
Exactly. And also now imagine that you could, for instance, look further and see, is there someone, a better version of me that I could be that's over there?
Then you can kind of aim to, and you're not going to get it with this reaching out, but maybe in like 5 reaching outs,
Right.
I'm going to get close to this kind of zone where there'll be some sort of optimal performance.
Exactly. So you could consider that. Now imagine also if you were able to actually see that out there and actually move in one step to that, or move, in less steps. Let's say, instead of taking 15 steps to get there, you can move 3 at a time or something, right? And so basically these examples of ways that you could do things more efficiently is this idea of fitness within this landscape.
Okay.
So there's the literal environment where there's food, trees, other animals of their species. And then there's this other space, which is this metaphorical space of potential manifestations of
Is
the
there
species.
a conscious being making these decisions about which direction to pursue? Is that able to be
I don't know if I would say
self?
consciousness. I couldn't argue really one way or another, but it's a way of thinking about it I think is valid, is that it's intelligent.
There's intelligence.
It's intelligent in the sense that it's able to solve problems in an intentional way, or a kind of crafty way that's better than just chance. What's that?
What is it? It is intelligent. What is it? Is it a...
I would say it is just the process, I guess, of
The process has intelligence?
Yeah, I was thinking about this in the shower. This is kind of a tangent, but I was thinking about like I don't think that things are intelligent. I think processes are intelligent.
Okay.
And I think when we are thinking about intelligence, I don't think that it's something that exists physically in your brain. I think it's in the processing that your brain does, which is maybe seeming like a pedantic or trivial difference, but there's something there. I don't have this fully fleshed out, but I think there's something there.
So it's almost like not even our fault, really. It's not even within our control. There's some sort of like, it's like a law of nature that something in nature is looking to, instead of getting to that place that you would get to with 5 reachings out, nature has this inherent drive within it to get to that same better place with 3 reachings out.
Yeah.
Or 2. It's looking to optimize. It's
Right.
looking to get there. Something in nature is seeking out that advantage or that growth.
It's the way that makes sense to think about it. It's exactly analogous to if you're a monkey that wants to be able to jump higher to get a banana that's higher in the tree. It's exactly that analogy. It's just in a different metaphorical space. And I'm not sure that I could explain, like what that thing literally is, or if it's intelligent or conscious. But I think that analogy Does that make sense?
I think so, but I don't understand. Are you saying that the monkey is increasing its ability to jump at an unnatural rate?
When I say so we have the literal space where there's the monkey in the tree, and then there's the space where you have the monkey as an instantiation of the species. So you have like the species space,
Yes.
which is this metaphorical space, and then you have the literal
being
monkey,
within the species.
the being that literally exists.
Yes.
So anyway, I think this is kind of a version of his idea that I'm trying to convey here. And so what I'm using that as a segue to what I think is the next version or the next tier, next level of evolution, basically.
For human beings.
Well, for humans in particular, this could be for anybody, but for humans, I think we are able to access this. So, just as a recap, we have gene level, kind of random mutation, like not intelligent in this metaphorical
Totally
space.
random.
Like we're just randomly moving to the next within arm's reach
Yes.
version of the species, and then you have this other, within that layer, you can develop your fitness for that metaphorical space so that you can more intelligently navigate it. And I think our next mode of evolution is in engineering.
Okay.
I think we're moving into, and this is something I don't have fully fleshed out, but
To like engineer out autism.
to anything
Or engineer in guys only being 6 foot tall.
Yeah. Or, I mean, things all the way to like what substrate would we like and at what scale would we like our consciousness or whatever we care about to be instantiated within? Like, we don't have to be meat machines. At a certain point, as technology advances, like,
We'll be able to put consciousness within something that can live for longer than a human body can live
sure,
for.
it could be about longevity. It could be about scale.
Dude, think about all the rich people out there right now that are investing in trying to figure out ways to prolong human life.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
tons.
they've been working on this probably for like since ever.
Do you know Brian Johnson? He's like a famous guy who's like doing this. He was like I think like self-made multi-billionaire from some company he sold.
Yeah.
Kind of early on in life, and he's dedicated his whole life to like optimizing his like anti-aging. Basically, are you familiar with this guy or no?
No, I
Yeah.
don't care about anti-aging. I mean, I don't give a shit.
Yeah. He's just like an internet like phenomenon because he's like he takes like I don't know how many dozens of like pills every day, and
God.
like
Well, that's Joe
and
Rogan,
like
too.
and this guy is like nobody else.
Just popping pills.
It's not only pills. I mean, he has all these like regimented practices that he does.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like I was gonna say red light therapy. It's not that crazy, but he does like optimizing, like heat and cold and like sleep. And like he's got a whole team that manages.
It sounds terrible. It's like LeBron. He's the LeBron of life.
What is that? What LeBron does?
LeBron James is like...
Who's that? I don't know who that is.
You're fucking...
That was a prank. Wait, what about him though?
Oh, I mean, he's like 42 and just killing it, like playing basketball and like playing an absurd number of games every season and playing an absurd number of minutes every season at like a high level.
Yeah.
Because he has this whole team of people that are just like on about regimenting his, recovery and health and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, this Brian Johnson game is the LeBron James of life.
Right.
He's just out there just like, fuck yeah, man.
He would probably love to hear you say that, dude.
I'm going to
because
optimize this shit.
Yeah, that's like, it's like literally his thing. It's like all he does. His whole life is dedicated to that. But yeah, I mean, as we become technologically more able, we're eventually going to come to a point where we're not bounded by our abilities, our capabilities to manifest what we want.
Oh,
like
fucking hell, dude.
I want to read this because I wrote this down. This was kind of at the end of what I wrote. Let's see. Okay, I haven't edited all this, so this is just a clip or an excerpt. But okay. But now we are moving into a new era. Through various pursuits of science, we are becoming more and more able to both understand and then to consciously shape our software. So I'll just interject. So software, I'm making a dichotomy or a difference between hardware being like our biological and software being like what our minds are. Also, like, you know, culture is software. You know, like our culture can evolve a lot faster than our biology, physical biology can. So that's another. That's kind of a layer in the that's kind of maybe that part of that second layer of the second mode of evolution, maybe after hardware. We're able to both consciously and then understand and then to consciously shape our software, but also more importantly, soon we will be able to seriously and meaningfully shape our hardware. Bioengineering is one of the current manifestations of this trend, but what is coming is much more powerful. Bioengineering today might be something like anti-aging or something cosmetic like plastic surgery or leg extensions, but we are rapidly moving in a direction where we will be able to control things in such a commanding manner that the constraining variable in our adaptation is no longer our capabilities, but merely our vision.
Yeah. Wait, say the last part again?
Yeah. We are rapidly moving in a direction where we will be able to control things in such a commanding manner that the constraining variable in our adaptation is no longer our capabilities, but merely our vision.
Right, of what we think is possible, what we dream, what we can dream of.
What do we want to be?
Yeah.
You know? And I mean, like, I think when most people hear that, they might think like, oh, like I would want to be taller, I would want to be
Dude, I feel like
smarter.
The first pass of hearing that, someone fucking dumb idiots out there who are like listening to this or are listening to someone say something like that that are promising a better future and your ability to like be anything, to change yourself, to live longer, to be taller. That sounds so optimistic.
Yeah.
And that makes me so mad because I think it's the devil. I think it's alien. And the problem is the uncanny valley. That's what this all comes down to.
It's like a body. I mean, to me, it's like a body horror thing. It's also like an existential thing. It's like, to me, that's like not a celebration. That's like terrifying. It's like a proclamation of like God is dead. It's like,
yes,
it's like we are now our own creators.
Yes,
that should fucking terrify people.
That is horrifying.
That should fucking terrify people.
Because it's like it's like Frankenstein. You're dead. In a way, it's not human. There's something. Again, it's like this thing of perfection and imperfection, and you can think about it in terms of artwork. I mean, I've got something that's like ringing in my head or in my nose or something when I'm talking. I don't know if you can like hear it or if it's just like in my head.
The CIA is trying to shut you down.
It's so distracting. The chip that I have in me from getting.
You got to get it updated,
dude. I got so many Johnson & Johnson shots. I got vaccinated. I have 10 boosters.
Yeah,
I got boosted 10
Do you feel
times.
Better? Do you feel
and
better?
I think that the chip is finally waking up.
You somehow got the Johnson & Johnson after it was pulled.
Yeah,
dude. You called some guy in like Turkey or something.
It was cheaper, and they said I needed it. But okay, no, uncanny valley, optimization. What the heck was I saying? About this concern.
I was talking about how it should be terrifying that, you know, we are now our creators. You were talking about Frankenstein.
I don't know, dude. Painting. Oh,
yeah,
I was going to go this whole thing about
perfection or something, right?
Yeah. So, like, I like minimal art. I like abstract art. I like geometric art. Some hard-lined art. Art that maybe could be considered in some ways. I like abstract expressionist, which I think is very human. But some of the more minimal and geometric and color field type stuff could in some ways be described as cold. And because there's a lack of, you can't really see the human hand in it. And there's one artist that was doing stuff that I think met perfectly in the middle. It's one of the most beautiful, I might totally be missing the point with this, but it had a huge impact on me and was one of like the biggest aha epiphany moments I've ever had when looking at a painting. And I was looking at this I was in a museum looking at this Barnett Newman painting, and it was huge. This is like a 12-foot tall by 20-foot wide.
That is big.
Painting.
That's big for him, I think.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And it's just this like solid red. Like the whole thing is red. Probably 90% of it. And the last little bit on the end is white. And Barnett Newman, I think, used like tape a lot to kind of divide where one color becomes another. And you would think that when he's applying color to one zone, he's being very careful about not getting that color in the zone next to it that's supposed to end up looking like a different color. And if you look at this huge painting on the wall that takes up the entire wall, you notice, he did a pretty good job of doing that. And I don't really understand what I'm looking at here because it's just like a giant field of red and a small field of white. But then you look at the field of white, you're like, wait a minute, it's not all white. He fucked up a little bit. And you walk closer and you see that there's like this kind of splash of red that came, like this field of red is perfectly divided between from the field of white by like a straight line. It's a perfect straight line that was probably made by tape. But then there's this little splash of red in the field of white. And you're like, what the fuck? Because if he was aiming, like the vision here is very clear. One field of red, one field of white. Okay, get it done. Execute. Like, if you're this smart or this successful, whatever, you should be able to execute your vision. So the fact that he fucked it up and there's a little bit of red here, a little splash of red in this white zone, you're like, okay, dude, scrape it off, paint over it. What a fucking asshole to just leave this little bit of red here on the white. I'm like, this painting is ridiculously big. It's 12 feet by 20 feet. He did this whole thing.
Maybe he didn't see it.
And he fucked it up.
I'm just kidding.
That's and then I realized, wait a minute. That's what this whole thing is about. The whole purpose of it being huge is to get my attention. And then I get bored because I'm like, what am I looking at? I'm looking at this huge thing, but it's really nothing. And then my eye is brought to the mistake. And then I walk up to it, and then I see the mistake. And what happens is that mistake is like at eye level. And I had this kind of, in this sea of perfection, I had this eye-to-eye moment with this example of imperfection. And that is humanity. And that humanity speaks to me. I can communicate with it, have a dialogue with it. I feel seen.
Right.
Because I am an imperfect human being.
Yeah, it's you.
It's literally me.
Yeah.
I'm looking at me.
Right.
And that is so beautiful.
Yeah.
So there's this huge kind of misconception, but also attraction to this, like these people advertising perfection, advertising better, advertising advancement, productivity, more efficiency. There's an attraction to that. It's appealing. But at the same time, when it's taking us away from this ability to like, oh my God, customize your child, blue eyes, 6 foot,
Oh my God,
this,
that's
that.
real
like,
now.
I believe it.
No, I thought you were
it's real.
referencing it.
It's
No,
real.
It's literally happening.
Yeah.
Yes, there's like ads for it in like the New York City subway.
Like, how about
There's
be
a
fucking
company that does
surprised
that.
with your kid, man? Be surprised.
Yeah. Did you know that was happening literally?
No, I didn't know.
That's literally a company that exists. That you are, I thought you were referencing that.
Dude.
Because that's been like a cultural hot topic recently.
When I go to Subway, if I go to Subway and I try to make a sandwich, okay? I'm like, oh, I like mayonnaise, I like turkey, I like this. I try to pick all my favorite things. And if I pick all my favorite things and put them all in the same sandwich, that sandwich is going to fucking suck. Because it's a terrible mix of ingredients.
Right.
I don't have it figured out. I'm not a chef. I'm just a guy who likes olives and banana peppers and jalapenos and 12 grain wheat bread, okay? And I'm not even thinking about the cohesive thing, man.
Right.
God is like the chef of people. And you got to let him fucking whip it up, man.
Let him cook.
Let him cook.
Let him cook.
As soon as we start doing this shit and we start trying to cook, we're just idiots.
Yes. All right. So I'm gonna drop this is an Eric Weinstein quote, which is one of my favorite quotes that I don't think is referenced enough. Eric Weinstein is the brother of Brett Weinstein, who we were just talking about. And he had this quote, which was in reference to our increasing abilities, our increasing powers as humans through technology and science. And he had this quote, and he said that we are gods, but for the wisdom. Basically meaning we have these godlike powers,
Yeah.
but we have no idea how we're supposed to use them. No idea. And we just continue to increase our capabilities more and more. And I mean, we don't know what we're doing. And I mean, to me, the logical conclusion of that, or I think maybe let's say the probable conclusion of that, is that we're eventually going to make something that we just blow ourselves up with. You know? I mean, whether it's literally or metaphorically.
So
we just don't know how to manage our powers.
I think so. I agree that we don't know how to manage our powers. I agree we're on a terrible trajectory. And yet still, I'm going to reference like radical optimism here. I had this kind of faith that, there is this, whether it's conscious, unconscious, will, God, whatever, there's this thing that's going to defeat our, like whatever trajectory we're on to like fuck it all up, and we're going to try to like be the chefs of humanity. I don't think we're going to be allowed to get to a point where it goes too far. I think before it goes too far, there's going to be this and like I said, I'm not saying it's like there's a conscious being in the sky watching us and playing like, judge and jury and deciding when to come down and intervene. It's not, I don't think it's a conscious thing like that. But I do think it's that unconscious consciousness where there is like an energy flowing through the things that like will feel it when it starts to get really wrong.
We're feeling that now, I think.
And something is going to come in at the last second.
Right.
Whether it's like a flood or whether it's the solar flare or some sort of disease or and it almost could be random. You don't even have to say it's God. It could be just this random, peculiar, serendipitous timing of something.
Yeah. You know what it reminds me of is it's we had the conversation about the metaphor of
Michael.
Of
Sugar lectures.
Michael
of like, is it God? Is it this or that? It's just
right. It's like you're a society, a culture's sin. They're straying away from the way they're supposed to be living. They're straying away from God. They're straying away from acting within concordance of reality. We'll eventually build a society which can't withstand the flood.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the metaphorical, it's just like a rebalancing.
Right.
I think there's always going to be some sort of just, maybe that's what I believe in the rebalancing. I have confidence in that. I have faith that something out there won't let us go too far.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my question is then what does that mean in practice? Because what I see happening is, and maybe this is what you're saying, is that there's the way to not let us go too far isn't a like stop sign or like a brick wall that says go no further. It's a meteor that smashes everything.
Yeah.
And we go back to this, like wherever, how far we get knocked back to.
Yeah.
Whether it's a political revolution and, it's something at that scale, or if it's like way, way worse. So yeah, I guess I agree. Is that kind of what you're getting at? Something like that?
Yeah, I don't know what it's going to be.
Because I agree
and
with
it could
that.
be even more a direct thing where it's like we just, I don't know, we over pollute the earth and people start dying. It could be even more like literal or more explicit of like a consequence.
Yeah.
Of like, I don't know, a man-made disease takes out most of the population.
Right.
The next COVID, which I cannot wait for.
It's gonna be. I just can't wait to get my next vaccine.
You gotta.
I'm just thinking about like when I can get my next shot.
I can hook you up. I got the guy.
All right, great. I was just thinking is like I hate that like I don't want this to be like a doomer podcast. So like I mean I'm not saying I want to change topics, but like I'm trying to think through like with these things in mind that we're bringing up, like what what are we supposed to do?
Oh, you're talking about how to make it actionable.
Yeah,
Or
like-
how to react to it.
like-
well, I think it comes down to, like, I'm not here to tell people how to act or how to react.
I want to figure out how to act.
Like, I
for
think you
me,
could do, I think
you know?
you should just, I mean, if you like listening to podcasts like this,
Mm-hmm.
go listen to it. If you just want to watch cartoons or watch the Kardashians or watch The Office, like, go do that.
No, I did strongly disagree.
Do
with
the
this. I
things
strongly
that
disagree.
I mean, I don't know. I think we're on some bad trajectories, but I do think that everybody has this inner voice that's telling you, like, you need to get outside. You need to put your feet in the grass. You need to get out of the city. You need to call your friend. You need to have a human connection. You need to go to a concert. I think everybody is going to more or less have some sort of inner voice that is compelling them to go back to the things that are natural for the natural way of humans existing.
I agree with that.
So whether you choose to respond to that or not, or to what level, I mean, some people go crazy. Like, what was the guy? Who was the guy who died?
Jesus. For our sins.
Yeah.
He died for our sins,
No,
Jesus.
the one who goes out and explores the world, and there's a whole book written about him.
This recent person.
Gosh darn it! I don't
Recent or
know.
no?
He gets a van and starts traveling around the country and stuff, and ends up like living out in the wilderness by himself.
Oh
and
yeah,
ends
is
up
this?
dying.
He's the one who
Like
dies. They
15
wrote a
years
book
ago,
about him
20 years ago.
Yeah, it's
whatever, man.
Something
Like that's a whole other
yeah.
end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Which, like, it's crazy. Like, you and I talk about maybe doing something kind of like that, and we're not. Like, I kind of wish I had the freaking guts, man, to just like really step outside of this. Like, I talk about it, and I'm doing the whole painting thing. I'm doing what I can, but I mean, I have a 9-to-5 job. I'm really. I'm a participator of. I'm a pretty willing participant of the structure of society.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's
More
the
than I'm
world you
willing
live
to
in.
admit, because I feel like, dude, we had this thing at the office today. I don't know if I'm taking this too far away from what we're talking about.
No, you're good.
But, dude, like, living in fucking Syracuse, man. I mean, I'm here because my family's here, and like, there are times in the year where we go literally like a week or two without seeing the sun. We can go 2 weeks. I think right now before today, it was like 10 or 11 or 12 days.
Really? Wow.
Without seeing the sun.
I didn't realize. I was inside.
Yes.
I didn't realize.
Yeah, it was so bad. We didn't see the sun at all. And today, I literally woke up. I wake up to the radio every morning. I have like an alarm clock radio. My phone's off. I turn my phone off every night.
Nice. It's a great move, dude.
It is. And I wake up to an alarm clock radio. And this morning on the radio, they were like, "Oh, like the sun's out today." That's what I woke up to in my room, in my windowless room, my
Dude.
windowless bedroom.
That's
I
the
woke up to
happiest
the guy in
moment.
the radio saying, "The sun is back," and I was like, "Holy shit, no way!" And I went to the blinds and I opened the blinds, and then I, got ready for work. I went to work, and on my way driving to work, okay, I am parked at a red light. I'm stopped at a red light, and the sun is kind of coming, and I just roll the window down, and I poke my head out, and I just feel the sun on my skin for like a couple minutes. Not even. No. For like maybe 8 seconds. And then the light goes green, and it's cold outside, so if I keep the window down, the air's going to come in, I'm going to get cold. So I roll the window back up, so I no longer feel the heat of the sun.
Yeah.
And I drive, and I get to the office like a minute later. I walk into the office, and we had like this whole office event today where we did like a whole like luncheon thing, Christmas lunch. People do gifts. So usually I go for like a walk during lunch, but today I was inside for lunch, and we finished that, and I'm on a deadline for the project. And then like, dude, I was inside today from 9 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. without feeling the sun on my skin. And I'm just thinking, like, what kind of fucked up world of priorities? Like to me, honestly, if I was the CEO of the company, if I was the CEO, I would have said, "Hey guys, today for lunch, we're going outside. We're going to go feel the sun." That's like, I was sitting there in the chair at lunch, and I was like, the thing that I want to do right now, and I didn't feel compelled. I was in the middle of the whole like gift exchange thing, and I didn't leave. I should have just left. Like this whole like blindness that we have to what the real priorities of life are, and me sitting there, I'm like, we just need to go feel the freaking sun. The way that we're operating right now is so opposite of what is natural for what we should be doing. And I feel it every day. That's why I work out. That's why I run. That's why I go do stuff outside, is because like I just have this kind of feeling that like I need to re-engage with nature, man. And so much of the way that society wants me to operate is so anti-connection to nature. It's fucking me up.
Yeah, I mean, it's the biggest thing I think is that it's a time thing.
It's 100%. There's just not the time for it. It's optimize, go.
Like even
make your money.
Whether it's nature,
work.
I mean, there's other things too in addition to nature. Like, I mean, a basic one. I mean, connecting to people that you care about, you know, or you know, just being with yourself and your own mind. You know, just taking time to just be grateful in any space.
Taking time to not think. Don't look at your email. Don't look at your phone. Don't think about what you have to do for this or that.
We're in a constant motion management thing. You know, we're constantly in motion and we're constantly steering the ship and thinking about what's upcoming. Yeah. I mean, I guess like the actionable thing is just like figure out ways to make that time. Or at least think about it, I guess. I mean, I don't think most people even think about that. I know for myself, you know, it comes and goes in periods, but I'll get into periods where I don't take any time to consider that stuff because I'm just busy. I'm just, you know, I'm going from thing to thing, thinking about here's what's coming up. I gotta make action on this and that, and I don't know. I guess just at the very least being conscious of that is
okay. So maybe this is the grand advice of how to make it actionable. Guess what? Your life doesn't matter.
Okay, how does that help?
Because it's like this thing that you're super worried about, like this deadline at work, or this, you know, doing this thing, or this taking care of this, or taking care of that, or doing that. Like there are the things that you think are important are actually not as important as you think they are, and you have to listen to that inner voice inside of you that's telling you to do things that maybe don't align with what society is telling you to do.
That seems like a dangerous voice. I think that's dangerous. That voice needs some guidance because
go out and kill people.
just like
don't listen to that voice.
Just a voice that's just saying the things that you think are important or not important is not specific. Because like for instance, you go into your job making enough money so you can get food.
That's so important.
Yeah, that is important.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's the thing. I really don't think, like, talk about making it actionable. I feel like everybody has to kind of figure out what feels right to them. I don't know if I can say...
Well, that's the thing that
I want to spread what I kind of think, but like it's just so different for everybody. Like, I don't know if I can come out. I don't want to preach at people. Like, I just kind of do. Yeah. I have a hope that we kind of re-engage and get back to a society where like people go to concerts without recording stuff, people go dance, people go live freely, people go have fun, people are engaged in their communities. I mean, I want to be a part of a group of people like that. Yeah. And I don't think I can maybe achieve that by screaming at people to like change the way that they're acting. No,
I mean, you got to find people. I mean, you can't force anyone to change.
And you can't force, and people just, I mean, there's certain kind of compelling things about, I mean, you hear Chris D'Elia like make fun of people who go camping. He's like, we invented walls with air-conditioned rooms so that you don't have to live out there and go camping. Why would you leave the comfortable place to go to a place that's less comfortable? And I think it's totally fair, man. Yeah. Like, we had made this for a reason. But at the same time, there's something natural about like being out in nature and re-engaging with all that stuff and kind of getting a taste for what that is again. Well,
I think that is something that people need guidance on because... You know, we were talking, I think, on the phone a couple of days ago about like, or maybe I was talking with somebody else about how, you know, like we'll talk about things on here and like some ideas that, you know, I'll mention, like sometimes this happens in a conversation where I'll mention something and you'll be like, I've never heard that idea. That's like a revolution of my thinking. Yeah. And, you know, I don't always know what those things are going to be. And I think one of those things for a lot of people is this intentional thinking about how we're supposed to be spending our time. Like, it's a bit of existentialism and kind of thinking in like an evolutionary sense about what we're, quote, made to do. I think maybe even just that as like an introduction to like, hey, like here's something to consider. Like you're busy all the time and like it doesn't always feel good. maybe here's part of why. And I also think, in addition to that,
I've been seeing that a lot
seeing what?
on social media.
Oh, that we're not living how we're supposed to. Yeah,
like apps about here's how to like put your phone down. Like brick phone, do this. Disengage.
Right.
Apps for helping your mental health. It's so crazy. I like use technology to solve all the problems that technology is giving you.
Right. I think that there's definitely been improvements and progress in that direction, but I think
there's an awareness, at least.
There is, yeah.
There's a growing awareness that this is a fucking
There is,
problem.
and there's even progress on it. But I think one of the things that's lacking is what we are supposed to do in lieu of those things. I think we have some intuitive sense of some things, like being social, being with people you love. I think that's a big one. I think it's a pretty basic instinct we all have to be, connect with people.
What do we do?
But I think, we talk about like a new religion all the time, but like, I really think that's like what everyone is hungry for, or
religion,
or that they're needing is. And when I say religion, I don't mean like, some woo woo kind of like God in the sky type thing. It doesn't have to be some kind of metaphysical,
but like
kind of thing, but a set of guiding principles, something that organizes your life to organize your life around.
Yeah. Everyone's looking for that.
Yeah. Yeah. And
that's what I think. We're at this point, like in our mid 20s now, or like I think your 20s is kind of the time where you need some guidance you have this increased awareness and this increased number of opportunities to engage in social situations where you have the ability to act very freely.
Yeah.
You're like operating in this world where like your parents are no longer telling you what to do. Your friends aren't telling you what to do. You can literally be your own person and do anything you want.
You can go anywhere.
You can do anything.
Your reputation, you can leave it behind in a city.
Yes. Yeah. And so you're just like, oh, who am I? What do I do? What is my framework of beliefs that I can refer to when I'm faced with a decision and I don't know if I do A or B? I really can't decide. I'm not emotionally pulled in either direction, but I want to ultimately make a decision that I can feel content with and feel like is a reflection of who I am as a person. Mm-hmm. I can feel proud to have aligned with that sort of.
I don't think people are thinking like that most of the time.
I think they are.
That's one of the, I don't.
Maybe
think
not
so.
in those. Maybe not that articulately.
I don't even think people are even consider. Some people are obviously, but I don't think a lot of people are. I think the world has become very hedonistic and not in a kind of like I'm a hedonist kind of conscious way.
Right.
But it's just.
They've been taught to think that way.
They've been conditioned. They've maybe not.
Even the mental health advocacy or the physical well-being advocacy.
What about
that's all hedonistic.
In what way? What do you mean?
Go to Pilates. Get a therapist.
That's hedonistic?
100%. It's for the betterment of you as an individual. It's thinking within yourself instead of outside of yourself.
I don't want to get into semantics.
Self-flagellation is a form of, what is this Jenny Holzer quote? Of indulgence.
Yeah.
Self-flagellation is a form of indulgence.
Yeah.
Fuck you for feeling bad about yourself.
Yeah.
Fuck your pity party.
There's an argument I can make here, but I don't want to diverge too far. But
yeah.
I don't think that most people are thinking about.
Yeah, why don't you think that?
Because I think it's hard. I think most.
I think everybody thinks they are. Maybe you don't perceive them as operating like maybe based on their behavior, you don't think they're thinking that way. But on the inside, I feel like they probably are.
I think.
How can you not?
I think often what happens. So Jonathan Haidt. I think we've talked a bit about Jonathan Haidt. He's I want to say social psychologist.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's a super interesting figure, definitely worthwhile checking out. He has done a lot of research and work on the effects of social media, particularly in teen girls, boys also, but particularly in girls. But anyway, he has a book, I think it's called The Righteous Mind. He mentions this. He has this idea of motivated reasoning, which is the concept is that, and this is borne out by the research, that the decisions we make are not guided by a logical, rational process of us assessing the facts, the potential outcomes, et cetera, and then making a rational decision. Mm-hmm. the way that we make decisions is we have an emotional feeling about it, a kind of gut reaction, our pre-existing opinion about it.
Yeah.
We know what we want to do, and then we reason to make that the right thing.
Yeah.
And so the concept is called motivated reasoning.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that that's how almost everybody thinks.
Oh, dude, that shit makes me fucking mad.
But that's how everyone thinks.
I mean, I do that. I probably
no, everyone
do that.
does.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes like an insane mind to be able to go against that. Like, you know,
the only thing that can
make
the thing that makes you go against that is religion, is God. That's what gives you the strength to go against doing this. What do you call it? Motivational reasoning?
Motivated reasoning.
Motivated reasoning?
Yeah. It's basically what you're getting at, and what I was getting to is like we need to have like rules that are bigger than the subjective idea of like
and faith and radical optimism.
Whatever I think is
radical
right
optimism.
Right.
Again, man, because it's like
I don't see how that's
it is.
How is
because
that related
it's
to
like
this?
if you want to steal, okay, if you want to steal something from someone, or if you want to hook up with someone who's married.
Yeah.
Or you want to do like,
how does radical optimism help that?
What it does, because if you're going to be radically optimistic, what you're going to realize is that you could right now in this moment do something that you know is wrong to make you feel better, to have some sense of like satisfaction or entertainment or benefit. You could go steal that thing. You could go hook up with that. You could go, do like adultery or something. Or I'm trying to think of like what are you could do something bad for personal gain and feel that personal gain in the moment. And maybe your belief system doesn't come with any sort of repercussions for doing that sort of thing. But in radical optimism, you realize that this is like a +1 or ×2 scenario, where the +1 would be to do the bad thing to get the immediate gratification. But the ×2 scenario is you deny yourself from doing that thing that you're feeling compelled to do. Okay? Which is difficult, but it makes you a better person, more in line with things that are like good. And then if you do that, then something else good is going to come into your life that might be even better than the thing that you just passed up.
I think the problem with that is that I don't think people will buy it because it's a woo-woo thing.
It's woo-woo.
I think
that's what
I think for something to be adopted, radical. I think for something to be adopted in today's culture, I think we have too much of a reductionist scientific view of the world. I don't think people are willing to adopt that.
Here's what I'm saying, man.
I don't think people are willing to just take on faith without something that they can audit and understand.
Right. But here's what I will say, man, is when I have done that in my life, and I have had the willpower to make that conscious decision to give up committing the sin to get the gratification that I wanted, literally in the next week or two, and this could just be my fucked up perspective, but something else has come into my life out of a surprise that has been better than the thing that I wanted that I gave up.
Sure. Yeah,
it has. I have like had consistent like evidence of this thing happening. And that could just be like some sort of post hoc rationalization type thing. It could totally be that. But I believe in it based on the things that I've seen, and observed and felt. So I'm just saying, try it. Just try it, because maybe let's say we're talking to a bunch of people who act on impulse every time and always do the thing, always commit the sin to get that gratification. If that's everybody out there, and that's what you do every single time, then just one time. Be strong and see what happens when you don't do that thing. Just see what happens. It can't hurt, right? Because if nothing happens, then you can go back and keep doing all the fucked up stuff you want to do after that. Fine.
No, don't.
Whatever. I can't stop you.
Right, of course. Yeah.
But just try it once. See how you feel. See how your eyes open up to the world. See how you feel some sense of optimism, like something good is going to come into my life now. I did the right thing and I can feel good about that. And and it almost becomes like a pay it forward sort of thing where it's like you start walking around with it. And maybe that's what it is too. It's just like, it's not like, this is like the opposite of like, you're not punished for your sins, you're punished by your sins. But the opposite of that is like, if you do something good doesn't come into your life because you did something good. Something good comes into your life because you are resonating good energy. You are attracting something good because you are literally resonating that positivity because of how you are behaving. It's like attracts like.
Yeah, yeah.
You attract the energy you give out. It's not you're being, I want to think of something so poetic like the opposite of, you're not punished for your sins, you're punished by your sins.
You're not rewarded by your good deeds, you're rewarded by your good deeds.
So, yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like, yeah, whatever. Just try it. I'm getting stoked. I don't do it. Like I'm saying this like I do it every time, bro. I don't do this every time. I forget.
No. Yeah.
And then I commit a sin and go for that gratification.
Well,
I still do that.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is like one of the great things about the institution of church, or at least Christianity, is what I know about. And I think Judaism is the same, where you know, every Sunday you get together, you get to see a bunch of people who are aligned in the same way. It's a reminder of, that you're not alone, that there's, that there's a backing up by other people of like that you should do the right thing. You have a community that you can rely on. You're reminded every week, like, adhere to these principles.
Yeah.
What I'm getting at is that it's easy to forget the principles you should live by unless you're regularly reviewing them, and you have some way of keeping them top of mind. Because again, the world today, we're so busy and distracted. It's easy to forget. So
they call that falling in with the wrong crowd. You need to fall in with the right crowd.
That's a bar.
So that you have those reminders.
That's true. Yeah, there's this quote that I don't know if anyone knows where it came from, but there's this idea that you are the product of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Mm-hmm. And if you never heard that before, you should think about it. And you should think about it and make some changes if you need to, because that is true. Really just think about it. Like, think about how you become you. Like, you become you by your inputs, the barriers, the consequences, the rewards that you receive. Yeah. And if your inputs are people who, do bad things, that's the world you see. It's like, oh, people do bad things. All right, I can do bad things.
The energy you surround yourself with. If you get rewarded for doing bad things, or your friends high five you when you go into a Walmart and scream and go hide in the the rafters and put it on TikTok, when you go punch somebody on the street, or you go steal something, your friends don't, the people you surround yourself with don't say, hey, that was like not cool, go give that back. If you surround yourself with people who give you leeway when you do the wrong thing, who encourage you to do the wrong thing, who provide examples to you that are the wrong thing, what do you expect to become? Yeah. St. Augustine? It's tough, man. It's tricky.
Like you really got to consider that. You really are the product. If you're not convinced, I don't know. You should be convinced. That's not a very good sales pitch, but yeah, the reality is, you are the product of the 5 people or more or less, whatever, that you surround yourself with. So the point of that is, like, choose your friends wisely, choose your circle wisely, surround yourself with people that you want to be like. They have something that you want, a type of life that you want. They exemplify the things that you want to be, and even that you should consider, like, are the things that I want the things that I should want? Yeah. Because there's a lot of things that we want that we want as a result of what we've been told we should want.
So I'm in this dilemma right now with the whole